Hello, welcome back. So I missed you the last few weeks, busy with Football Shirt Friday and that. Thanks for getting involved, really appreciate your efforts. So back to the old match worn shirts, I guess. Got another top 5 for you, stay tuned. So as we've had a few weeks off, I'm just indulging. It's just mid-90s really, to be honest, and a few special pieces. Euro 96, France away. I mean, this is a real classic. What it is about this one for me is the badge. Le Bleu just went, just put the tournament on there, no FFF. Different to the replica shirt in that the badge is on the chest, whereas on the replica it's in the centre. And look at these patches. That's the Euro 96 tournament patch, and this here, UEFA Fair Play. So this was the first major international tournament where sleeve patches were used. Weren't seen at Euro 92, weren't seen at USA 94, first time in England. This was France's first Euro since 1984 when they won the competition. This shirt is from the quarter-final against Holland. This shirt was worn in the group stage against Spain, but because the patches, they were still getting used to them, they wore them on the opposite sleeve. So worn to this spec against Holland, and then they beat the Dutch on penalties, went through to play Czech Republic, wore this shirt again, but got beaten on penalties. Czech Republic into the final. Shirt was issued to big Monaco striker Mikel Madar. Didn't get any action at the tournament. They got Djorkaeff, Loco, stayed on the bench, but did get a big money move to Deportivo La Coruña after the tournament. Back to the patches again, because you'd expect them to be machine stitched, but for me it looks like the kit man was just like, hang on a minute, we need some patches on here, and got a bit of stitching, got a sewing needle, he stitched them on himself, and as 20 odd years have passed, they're barely hanging on there. Then as you got around to Euro 2000, not everyone wore these big cloth embroidered patches. There were some plastic transfers, some flock ones there, but here it was all these. Some teams forgot to put them on. England against Holland didn't wear patches in that game. Holland didn't wear patches for the first 2 matches. So yeah, Euro 96, come on, brilliant. Now, for anyone who grew up in the mid-90s watching Football Italia, you will be obsessed with AC Milan shirts made by Lotto. Come on, it's just brilliant. The shirt from the 97-98 season, the last season that Lotto manufactured kits for the Rossoneri. After this, it's always been Adidas, and it just defines it in the era of the mid-90s so beautifully. This is actually the 4th shirt. Home, away, home, red and black, white, away, a black 3rd strip, and then this red with a nice centerpiece of black for the 4th shirt. Was only worn once in the season, away at Udinese. Shirt belonged to Winston Bogarde, big, strong defender, pilfered from Ajax, like they had Kluivert, Davids, the team that beat them in '95. They weren't scared to bring them all over to San Siro, really. Even though it's a 4th shirt, you could buy it in the shop as a replica, and we've got one here. There's some interesting differences between the replica version and the player version. Now you can see there's a Lotto club patch down the front, that's not present on the player shirt. There's also some, when we look closer, some extra features. So inside the collar, you can see there's some nice taping to make it a bit more professional finish on the match shirt. Also the crest is much smaller on the match shirt, and if we turn the gold stars inside out, you can see that the gold star is beautifully embroidered on the match shirt as well. And I don't think you could buy it long sleeve. Come on, you couldn't buy it long sleeve. So absolute class. Look at this name set. It's all screen printed within the materials, no flock on there, it's just all screen printed in. Bogarde didn't last long though at the San Siro. He was off in January to hook back up with Louis van Gaal, and it wasn't the best season for the Rossoneri. I think because they sold Robbie Baggio, and Capello wasn't there anymore. But can't take anything away from the shirt. A real beauty. Now, we've all been watching the Champions League, haven't we, recently? So it'd be rude not to look at a real classic Champions League shirt from the 95-96 season, and this Dortmund team that really came through and then went on to become the champions themselves. They didn't do it in this season though. They got knocked out by Ajax in the quarterfinals this season. But you know, watching this on the TV as a kid, you're just like, that big C, what's that all about? You know, again, it's for the old UEFA regulations. There's no, obviously it's the symbol for Die Continental. Whereas some teams, you saw them, like AC Milan for example, they take off the manufacturer's symbol and just leave the text. Dortmund went for, let's leave the symbol, get rid of the text, and it did intrigue you, didn't it, about like, what is that C? Well, it did me anyway. This shirt then, so it's from the quarterfinals with Ajax, worn by Julio Cesar, big Brazilian centre-back. Again, talking about patches, Dortmund wore their star ball on the opposite sleeve to most teams this year, and also there was still no great uniformity about the patch. Everyone was wearing a star ball. Some people wore it screen printed. I've seen flock ones. They had like an embroidered one here, which is great. Again, lots of differences between this and the replica version. None other than, I mean, look, they've got the badge on the opposite side of the shirt. You can see it's a flock material on the match shirt, and it's a nice stitched on there, give better durability for the replica version. Traditional Nike player feature with it not having that patch down the lower front. Nike logo is also embroidered, but it's a flock on here, so you're seeing plenty of differences on there too. It's a great, I mean, you look at this shirt and you think Chapuisat, Moller, Sammer, Kohler, what a great team, real strong German outfit, weren't they? Yeah, can't beat Borussia Dortmund, mid-90s. Man United Arsenal, it started somewhere, didn't it? That real fierce rivalry when Wenger was there, Ferguson, and it started really in this match, 97-98 at Highbury, and this was the only match in this season that this blue shirt, which had been seen in 96-97, but it hadn't been seen with Premier League print, the new feature for the 97-98 season. Gone were clubs wearing individual name sets usually made by the manufacturer of their shirt. In was Premier League print. So this shirt was only worn in one Premier League match in this season, so to this specification, the Champions 96-97 season. It was worn in the Champions League against Feyenoord as well at De Kuip. But yeah, what a match. It was a real thriller at Highbury. Finished in a 3-2 defeat for United, but Teddy got a brace. That was winding up the Arsenal fans. But look at this shirt. Let's have a look. We've got, I mean, for starters, you couldn't buy this long sleeved. You couldn't, and but Gary Pallister decided to wear short sleeves for this match. You really got Beckham, but Sheringham, they all wore long sleeves. Pallister, traditional centre back, thought short sleeves for me. We've got this raised embossed sharp sponsor. A feature of a lot of Man United shirts from the 90s is that the sharp sponsor's printed within the material on the replica version and then beautifully raised, embossed on the match shirt. I mean, it had its benefits as a replica. They do fade when they're raised, embossed, so you get your money's worth when it's printed in, but still, crest beautifully embroidered all the way through, and as is the Umbro, and there's not that Umbro motif down the lower front either. And we see the name set. It's quite interesting, really going into detail. I mean, it's got a player size number, but the name block is actually replica size. I think maybe so they didn't want to overlap with the stitching of the design. Yeah, interesting. You look at the pictures, you can see the players have got replica size names on there. United have been up against Newcastle really for the league title in the two previous years. Arsenal emerged in this season, and it was a real battle that lasted for 7 years maybe, until Chelsea got involved. And yeah, really all kicked off at Highbury in this shirt, this blue shirt. Now, I said I was indulging today. Anyone who knows me knows I'm obsessed with Championship Manager 01-02, And these two were the centre-backs that you bought for that game, weren't they? Taribo West, pick him up on a free. Isaac Okoronkwo, you got him from Shakhtar Donetsk, 250k. What a collection this is. We got the home and the away shirts from the 2002 World Cup, worn by the defensive duo. We got West against England. You remember that one? It's a pretty boring game. And this one, worn by Okoronkwo, white away shirt. You couldn't buy it in the shop. For me, the 2002 World Cup, this was the battle of the rare shirts. Sweden wore a blue Adidas shirt that you couldn't buy. Nigeria wore this white away shirt that you couldn't buy. So we'll take a quick look at both of these. I'm going to start with the Okoronkwo shirt. Now it's got, I mean, so many teams wore this Nike template, didn't they, at the 2002 World Cup? It's all about this jewel lining, this underlayer, just so much more ventilation on the shirt than there is on the replica version. And this, the tournament sleeve patch on there as well. FIFA World Cup Korea, Japan. Beautiful little touch on here is, if you look closely, you can see that Okoronkwo's wrote Jesus Christ on his number, you know, make him looked after during the game. Great little feature that. And yeah, you couldn't buy this in the shop. Super rare shirt. Didn't get the result they wanted. They lost to Sweden, which meant by the time of the England match they were out. But still, it's a real collector's piece. You know, if you want to get all the shirts from the World Cup, you know, normally you can buy them in the shop, but this, when they can't buy them in the shop, it just makes them like, yes, I need that one. And now let's all look at the West. You can see the same technology going on there. It's got this inner lining and all that ventilation. You see, like, they wear underlayers now, still a bit dirty as well from the match against England. You know, all that base layer technology that you get today, and this was why they were doing it. You know, players want that fit around the body, and you got that through this layer. See the same patch on there, and this like a plastic transfer name set as well. Yeah, this one, the 0-0 against England, which, you know, sent England through, but was a pretty boring game. If there's one thing that's not boring, it's usually Taribo West's hair. So, great shirt, great hair. So, I hope you enjoyed those shirts. Sorry I didn't really do any requests, but I'll get back on track with that now. So please leave me some comments, let me know what you'd like to see, and I won't just make it all about my shirts that I want to see this time, next time. I'll cover some of those as well. So, make sure you subscribe to the channel, leave me a comment, and yeah, see you soon for another Top 5 Match 1. Thanks for watching.